2 years ago today, we started calling for the Bitcoin bull run. That was January 1st, 2023. And man, has it been a crazy 2 years. So 2 years ago, I delivered you the bull run. And today I'm going to share with you some more alpha. I'm going to tell you exactly where we are in this Bitcoin cycle, how much longer we have in the bull run, when the cycle peak will likely be, and conservatively at what prices. The main conditions that we're going to look for that cycle peak, and exactly when the next bear market will begin. At the end, I'm going to wrap it up by giving you my 3-month prediction, what it's likely to end up looking like, and what we're going to look for into summer, and finally, how 2025 is most likely to wrap up as a year. The main thing I want you guys to take away from this stream today is that 2025 is going to be our year. We have put in the work, we've put in the time, and we're finally going to reap those benefits. So fam, let's get into it. Smash that like and subscribe, share the stream out. It's time to get spicy. First thing we should do is to zoom out and look at Bitcoin's full history. As we do a lot on this channel, it's a good way to start the new year. We wrapped up 2024 at 93.3 thousand US dollars, a price point I never thought I would actually see Bitcoin trade at. I always knew it would come, but part of me kind of decided it would never come and that I would just wait forever. But here we are, over 100K in 2024, and 2025 is looking to give us even bigger numbers. So let's start here. I've heard a lot of chatter and a lot of just bearish tweets, FUDs. We saw the tether collapsing at the end of 2024 thing, all kinds of different influencers or bearfluencers trying to call the top. I'm here to tell you that they are wrong. The top is not here yet. And in fact, we may have almost an entire another year to ride this ride, boys and girls. I know it feels like maybe it's already done. We've waited so long and this is all we're getting, but it is not true. There is evidence to support this, so let's share it here. Looking back at Bitcoin, we can see a very consistent pattern in our yearly candles. Bitcoin has in fact only ever had 3 years in its total history that it has ever closed a red yearly candle. 2024, no exception, obviously closed green, and I'm telling you that 2025 is going to close green as well. So let's look at just the basic, easiest way to understand this. Just like the thumbnail, we put on these numbers. So what we can observe is that each bear market, denoted by the red yearly candle, is followed by 3 green yearlies. We go back all the way to our cycle peak in 2013. 2014 brought us a red. We saw 1, 2, 3 green yearlies into 2017. A lot of you started crypto right about here. And into 2018, we got our bear market again. 19, 2020, and 2021, we saw the exact same thing repeat. 2021 bringing us a cycle high after 3 years of rallying off the bottom. I propose that we are in the exact same scenario again. After 2022's red candle close, our green into 23 and 24, we are now due for another green candle into 2025. And honestly, I think it is this easy. I have more to show you. Promise this is not going to be a letdown, but it is that easy. Ignore the FUD, ignore the haters, ignore whatever scary thing happens between now and into this year, because it is going to try to throw you off, as we have seen year over year over year in Bitcoin. This is all that matters for the big picture. A lot of you are sitting in alt bags wondering what's going on. Where are the altcoins? Why are my bags bleeding? What's happening? This doesn't feel right. Well, this is part of this picture as well. Let's pull up Bitcoin dominance. When we line Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin up on the yearly chart, we see something pretty hard to ignore. The 1, 2, 3 green candles on Bitcoin USD line up virtually perfectly or perfectly with Bitcoin dominance dumping, or alt season, meaning your alt bags doing well, not bleeding. And this chart on the year closing or wrapping up 2024 exactly as we would expect in the same manner. We can see that back to 2015 into 16, 17, the bull market or cycle peak again, denoted by the threes, led to that dump. After the dump, we had a year of recovery. We had 1, 2. The year of recovery was the bear market. But 1, 2 green candles that led us into the 2021 Bitcoin dominance dump again, which lined up exactly with the year we had our all-time high. Now, here we are again. It just seems so brain dead easy. I just don't know how people are ignoring this. 2022 into 3 into 24. Here we are, red candle on the year. 1, 2 green, 1, 2. What are we waiting for? We are waiting for BTC/USD to give us a new all-time high and a cycle peak, while simultaneously Bitcoin dominance dumping, not necessarily giving us a new all-time low or something like that, but a candle that will look to mirror the same pattern we have seen over the last cycles. When we have this candle, the big red Bitcoin dominance yearly candle and the big green Bitcoin USD candle into 2025, that will be our first early warning that the cycle top is coming, or maybe is imminent. We're still some ways away from there at this moment. But here we go. They line up absolutely perfectly. The cycle top with Bitcoin dominance bottoms. Everything seems to be pointing to this month, to 2025, the year we have just entered. If you're watching this in the future, the year we have just entered. Where's it going next? Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Maybe the notes. Pull up the notes quick. How much longer do we have in the bull run? Exactly. So, looking at all of Bitcoin's all-time highs, cycle highs, we have them all basically right here going back to 2014, 2018, 2021. What you will notice is that these are almost perfectly 4 years apart. That is why it is wild to me that people had started talking about a Bitcoin all-time high cycle in 2024, because it doesn't line up with anything we've seen. If you look to all the way back to 2013, this is in November. You fast forward to 2017, November, December 2017. That is almost exactly 4 years. You fast forward from December 2017 to November 2021. That is almost exactly 4 years again. So where are we going to logically look for this bull run to peak out? I will say somewhere between November and December of 2025, this month, or this year. I keep saying this month, this year. Basically, we are 1 year away. Of course, we can say that that is likely to fluctuate a little bit. We've seen them happen in November. We've seen them happen in December. If we look at the last cycle, we even see that Q1 came really close to the all-time high, or the cycle high, and we just got a little bit higher into the end of the year. That is, of course, a possibility as well. But the 4-year cycle, as it stands, holds perfectly true to this day. People seem to be ignoring this. I do not know why. But if we add this up, throw this out into the future the same way, we're going to be looking into December of 2025 for the all-time high into the bear market. What do I got here? So let's look at cycle targets. People already saying Bitcoin's topped out. Oh no, Bitcoin hit 108K. That's the cycle top. Well, anything is possible. I'm the last one to tell you that things are impossible in trading in charts. No one knows the future. But we're just going to look to the charts and take a rational approach here. After hitting 108,000, euphoria sentiment really not even matching earlier in 2024's Q1 of March rally. Things not quite fitting, not quite lining up with what we would expect with a cycle or a all-time high in our cycle. While it was very exciting and now it is getting a little grueling and boring, I believe, at a very conservative target, or a very, I want to even say bearish price target for the top of this cycle. I think we can logically look for 173,000. That would be roughly a 2x from here. And we can get this number relatively easily by going back to the previous bull run, using our 20,000, I guess actually the bull run before that, our 20,000 all-time high to our 3,100 bear market low in 2018. We used our Fibonacci extension tool, and that gave us 61.5. And while Bitcoin did go on to trade just under 70,000 in 2021, this gave us roughly the cycle peak within 10%, we'll say. We can use that same logic here, apply it to our 2021 all-time high, into our bear market 2022 low at 15.5, and that gives us this 173,000. So plus or minus 10%, let's say 180, just under 200,000. Now, I am more bullish than this. I think we go higher. I think that the last cycle was a fluke. We'll save that for another episode, for another stream. But I think this was a fluke or a very low target. I think it was supposed to go higher, and I think that was honestly a mixture of many different things. I think COVID crash, March of 2020 disrupted it. I think FTX up at the top selling Bitcoin, not buying it to cover for their FTT token, blah, 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 I think had another factor in it. Again, we'll go over that in another episode. I think that the previous cycle was supposed to go over 100,000. I think we were supposed to see about 125,000, or the measured move to extension from the previous cycle, and applying that to where we are now gives us our more bullish target, or where I am looking to see price move to by the end of this year into December of 2025, and that is 300,000, baby. How would you feel about that? I, of course, am going to aim high, but that doesn't mean that you should or need to. What I want you to do with this information, anyone who can hear my voice now live or in the future, all I want, I'm not trying to tell the future. I'm not a crystal ball reader. I don't know the future. I don't pretend to. But what I'm trying to do here is to give you a blueprint for you to plan out your 2025. I want you to be as successful as possible. I want you to be able to capture those gains. I want you to leave this cycle and survive and continue with me and continue in the space in crypto, succeeding. And I think by having this general outline of both time and price, you're going to be able to move forward, and you're going to be able to make a plan that makes you successful. For those of you that need help or want help with it, join our new group on wap.com/crown-crypto. Links in the video description below, etc. I'm not going to shill it right now, but I would love to help you create that plan, and that's something we're going to be doing in that group. So check it out. Back on topic, from the low to the high, 300,000, maybe conservatively 170 into the end of this year. Once we hit these numbers, or once we roll into 2026, that is when I believe we will see the next red yearly candle on Bitcoin. We will see the bear market reemerge into, let's say, late 26, early 27. We are likely to see that bear market of that cycle, the bear market low, come in and then restart the whole song and dance, guys. We've been live on this channel almost 6 years. We've seen more than one cycle. We started all the way back here. So 1, 2, I don't know. 2 cycles. Will be here for many more, but we'll be here step by step on this with you. But this is with very strong confidence what we're going to see into the next, let's say, year, 2 year, maybe even like 3 year. Let's just throw a number down here, right? October, November of 26, and then the slow climb to wherever we're going. This is very likely the future of Bitcoin. You don't need to know the exact tops or bottoms. The dates don't have to be perfect. All you need to do is position around this ebb and flow of the market. So let's look at this in a different way, a way that I think is much cleaner, and that is on total crypto market cap. This mirrors Bitcoin almost perfectly in the sense of it has 3 red yearly candles. The rest are green. We have 3 greens in between each red, etc. What I like about it, though, is that it's much cleaner. The all-time high, at least in 2021, came right back down to the 2017 high, found support, and continued higher. And this is already looking exactly like the previous cycle. 2020 and 2024 are virtually identical. Virtually identical for this. They started low, they closed above their previous cycle high, and then, at least in 21, we continued higher. We saw price exploration, market exploration, whatever you want to call it. Looking at a yearly candle, I think it will look something like this. Into this year, into 2025, and this is the low target, of course, we're starting with, I think we are going to see a $7 trillion market cap. That doesn't necessarily mean anything specifically for any alt or even really Bitcoin at this point. But what it does show us is that this market may look to double. And what's interesting is Bitcoin currently at 93,000, doubling, the market cap doubling and saying that all goes to Bitcoin would give us about 180,000 roughly. That 170,000 that we just looked at back here that we're looking for conservatively into the end of this year. Same thing as Bitcoin, retracement back to this 3 trillion or 2021 all-time high on total crypto market cap, and then restart the cycle into 2027 and to 2028, etc., etc. Did I have more here? Let me see. No, I think that's it on total. I'm doing pretty good sticking on target here. All right, so the next 3 months, I have not changed my opinion here. So what we have on the top is the last two and a half months of Bitcoin's price action from November into today, into 2025. Below that, even though it looks very similar, this is actually the previous year. And you guys know, if you follow this channel, we've been looking at this a lot. We've had to redraw or reevaluate our projection here. Things have shifted a little bit, but I believe we're still on virtually the exact same course. It just is looking a little different than we expected, and maybe we should have expected that. Bitcoin loves to do it. So into November of this year, we saw a very similar move where price moved to a high. This mirrored December's move of 2023 when we hit 45,000. We painted a bull flag, broke down, reached a range low, and progressed to what I'll call the second stage or second similarity of this pattern. Signified by this red oval on both the charts, we can see that price again hit a range high, but whipsawed or moved back to range lows before virtually returning to the same price. We saw this exact same move happen in 2023 in December. We moved to a new range high, whipsawed or moved to a range low from that high, and virtually returned to where we were. From there, we did not break our low, and we continued on to another or third final range high. I know, it's crazy. You would think that this is the same chart, that this is literally just copy and pasted. These are a year apart. You can see right here, 2024, 2025. That leads us to the price action of today. The price action of today from that high, similar to 2023 into 2024 start in January, we saw our range lows break. We saw sentiment break. We saw people flip from really, really bullish to skeptical or sidelined or maybe even bearish. From those range break lows or liquidity sweep into January of 24, we saw a very slow and skeptical, I can't even call it a bull flag, we'll call it a triangle, we'll call it compressed or coiled price action, basically very unconvincing price action. And this is my short-term projection. I think we are going to see something virtually identical to what we saw at the end of January, early February of 2024. And that will be it'll be marked by very easily doubted price action, where you say, okay, it's not dumping, but this is not what I think a bull market looks like, or not what I think continuation looks like. If we follow the course of 24, that will bring us to new all-time highs, and this could end up looking very similar to that. I think this is what we experience over the next month or 2 months. Now, for the total quarter, I do believe we see a new all-time high in Q1 of this year. I said I would give you the yearly kind of layout. So actually, let's look at this quick. Here we are. The yearly layout. I gave you the very short-term price action, what I think we're going to see into January and February. But I believe then, after Q1, as we see a new all-time high on Bitcoin, that could be 120, 130. I don't know. I could make up numbers, but it's just not really relevant. What's important is a new all-time high that then retraces. And into Q2 and Q3, I think we see again a very boring period of price action. Virtually every single summer, whether it has been on the way up in the bull market of 23 into 24, or even in the bull market back in 21, I think arguably you could even say in the bear market of 22, summer or Q2 and Q3 have been remarkably boring. Whatever price action has happened in Q1 basically gets forgotten. We saw that happen in 2024 with our all-time high in March. Over the summer, all the attention was lost as price traded sideways and did nothing. And I think that is what we're going to see again in 2025. So that could end up looking, I don't know, like this. And then actually, you know what's a better way to do it? Let's just do this bar pattern. Even though this is going to be more painful looking probably than it really will look. We'll say up here 130, retrace. Maybe we see under 100K again, maybe even under 90. I want to say 73 is still not off the table. We are still very much in a bull market. Even if we traded 73, 74,000, our March high, as long as it's bought up, as long as we see wicks, we see buying action, we see price continue, we can really see whatever value here, honestly. The low isn't really as important. So I think we see all-time high in Q1, so very exciting Q1 into a very boring Q2 and Q3, and I think then into Q4, November and December, so even the end of Q4, we see Bitcoin put in its cycle high of anywhere from 170 to, I'll say, 300,000. After December or into the next year, that is when I believe we will see the bear market again enter, and we will restart this process. No matter what happens during this time, fam, it does not matter what happens. No matter what happens, we will be here live. You're going to make it. As long as you're checked in, you're locked in, you're in this community, you're staying awake, you're paying attention, you're going to make it. We're going to talk more and more about the plan for this year. And when I say that, I don't mean my plan. I don't mean that guy's plan, this guy's plan. I mean the general plan, your plan. It's going to look different for everybody. But we're going to talk about it more and more, how we can construct it. And just by what we've talked about today, I think there's a few takeaways. One, Q1 will likely have profit-taking potential. And I do not mean all out of your portfolio, but I believe that there's going to be, by March, a very opportune time to shave or trim some of your spot position, or at least your perpetual positions, lock in some of those profits, and stay somewhat sidelined all the way into 2026. There will likely be a rebuying opportunity in the summer or Q2 and 3 of this year. It will be boring and painful. You probably won't want to buy it. You don't have to. But then again, into Q4, I believe there will be the real profit taking or the kind of cycle finishing move. From there, of course, we'll have to move into how to layer back in as the market cools off into 2016. But we're going to talk about this more and more, and I hope you tune in and I hope you follow it. We are live here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Probably going to be more, though. This year is our year. You're going to need more time. I'm going to need more time to stream. I'm going to need more time with you guys. This is going to be our year. Everything has lined up. Everything looks, honestly, the exact same. We like to say this cycle is different. And obviously, this cycle has differences, right? We have ETFs. Do you believe this? We have not even had one whole year of ETFs. ETFs launched early January of last year of 24. We're just coming up on a year. I think that was mid-June. We have a new administration in the US, which has appeared to be more friendly to crypto. Knock on wood, let's hold our politicians to that. Let's keep them accountable. to their promises to our space. And even just those two factors alone, I feel like are enough to say this time is different. But I will tell you, as someone who has been in crypto for years, 8 years, every single time has felt different. Every single time has had new factors. Every single time in the cycle, every single cycle, let's say, there has been a time where it has appeared that things were going to be different. And in fact, I think we've already seen that in March of last year with the all-time high pre-halving. I think it was the perfect "this time is different" bait, and we just settled back down into what we have always known and seen. What we're going to do is keep our eyes open. We are going to try to create and stick to a plan. We are going to build wealth this year. We're going to do it together. And I look forward to it, everyone. I appreciate you tuning in today. It is a new year. It is a time for opportunity. And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it with all of you. So I want to thank you. I wanted to keep this one short and spicy and to the point and full of value. Make sure to share this out. Subscribe, like, you know the deal. Discord.gg/TomCrown. We'll probably be live again tomorrow, guys.